Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our live. My name
Thank you,
is
thank you.
Charles.
And I am Mike.
And I'm Jessica.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about North Korean diet that we've done for like 4 weeks and kind of share what we learned and especially for me, kind of like how I felt and the routines that we went through. And my friend Jess is going to talk about how her first time North Korean diet experience was. Yeah, so I think we're gonna give ourselves for maybe like 10 to 15 minutes for people to kind of join in. And so we'll take questions for the first like 15 minutes.
Yeah, and we do see chat here, so I will be the facilitator. I usually co-host the Rubber Ducking podcast.
That's
if you
right.
if you guys don't know about the podcast, but I'll be mostly monitoring the chat and asking the questions that you guys asked to Charles and Jessica about their experience. Thank you so much again for joining today. Really, really appreciate you spending your valuable time with us tonight. Since we heard a little bit from Charles, let's hear a little bit from Jessica as well, the new face to the channel, I believe. So, will you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
I didn't know that was gonna happen. Hi, I am Charles's friend, and Mike is my husband. And we went on North Korean diet together. Should I wait until later to tell them how? Yeah, we should wait until later to
Well,
tell
so
how that
so
started.
why don't we do this? How was your day?
Okay.
How was you guys' day?
Um,
Yeah.
Good. Got to spend some quality time with Autumn, our
Yeah.
toddler daughter.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, work. So software engineering is my cup of tea. I've been doing that for quite a while. Yeah, and busy. Um, Lots of meetings. Trying to move on to the next. Like what's the next best thing, right? That's always
Right? I mean, you just did hit quite the milestone of 100,000 subscribers.
Thank
So
you
again,
so
thank you. It's all
much,
thanks to all the
guys.
viewers that we
Yeah.
have.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
Charles has been dreaming. It's like, okay, what now, right? What now?
Yeah.
How do you tell the stories of the North Korean
Yeah.
folks better? So, like,
Mhm.
what are your dreams? Let's just maybe spend like 2 minutes dreaming about it. What are your dreams? About
Yeah,
this?
I mean, hey, I mean, if we keep growing, and hit, another milestone, I mean, that would be amazing. Yeah, and get to share North Korean people's stories and also potentially have other North Korean defectors on our channel as well, and then kind of have them share their story on our channels and like how was their resettlement experience in South Korea or either America, or even like how, like what worked for you and how can you share that and hopefully to like give it to the next person, right? The kind of like the experience that they had, like give it to the next person, like the future North Korean refugees. Hopefully by the time they're not refugees, hopefully they
Yeah.
will be like coming to America
Right.
and going to South Korea as like, I don't know, it's freely traveling and they can resettle like without any regime's persecution and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, that is my biggest dream. So maybe like grow, like basically have a great platform, right? And hopefully have other North Korean people on our show and basically be the voice for voiceless North Koreans. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's my ultimate dream.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Charles.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
Jess, thank you for helping in that, and cheering up a little bit to your diet content. since we're waiting for more folks to join,
Yeah.
let's answer Sudayas' question here. How do families usually spend time?
Yeah, great question. So as you may know, video games or board games is not such a thing. Because there is, I mean, like no electricity, right? So you can't really play video games. And board games, no, because that's kind of like a Western kind of culture thing. So families usually spend time together watching TV, propaganda of TVs. And that's given provided only from like 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. And during the winter, like it gets really dark really soon. So like a lot of activities that we do it under the candlelight. So we play things called like Sasaki as well. It's like a card games.
Mhm.
So we play card games and we watch propagandas like TVs. Yeah, and a lot of things are, and especially like everyone goes, the house should be empty because like North Korean people, like all of them, believe it or not, there is zero unemployment rate in North Korea.
Whoa, that's impressive.
I know, right? Zero unemployment rate. And all the kids in North Korea are enrolled in school, right? So theoretically, everyone should be at work or either in school. So nobody's at home. So the only time they get to spend like family time together is during the dinner time and at night. And during those times, they do like play card games. Like it's called Sasaki. Maybe like I should do that video one day.
Yeah, that's a good video idea,
Yeah,
right? Do a
yeah.
little tutorial.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
okay.
mhm.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit about that, Charles.
You're welcome.
Let's see here. We have another question, and this is now maybe starting to talk a little bit about the diet. Let's answer Planet's question. Thank you for the question. What kind of meat do you eat in North Korea? Wait, before Charles, you answer, because Jessica has lived through the diet. Why don't you maybe try to answer this one? Charles can.
Yes,
answer for
yes.
you.
I feel like it would give away information about the diet that we did, but
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, really none. Like
Non-existent.
like I think we discussed. We said, well, what about the tigers? Do the tigers eat people in North Korea? And I think Charles, what did you say?
Tigers eat people?
Yeah, tigers eat people in South Korea.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore, but like they
Back
did.
then, yeah. But I mean,
Thousands
there
of
is no
years.
tiger in North Korea. Yeah, there is no wild animals to begin with.
Very sad, but
very,
the
very
reason
sad.
is
Because they've been hunted down, very, very, even like probably like since like 70s.
Wow.
They've been hunting animals and fishing the river, so they've like fished the river dry.
oh man,
Yeah.
Wow. So really, the short answer there is like none. right?
genuinely none.
For the common.
For
Probably-
common for the lower class, but
Uh-huh.
that's not true for everyone, right? There are
Right.
people who eat meat. So the most common meat is pork.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
so they have a pork, and then the next common is rabbit. I would say like rabbit and pork, like they go like neck and neck because a lot of people actually do farm rabbits, and
Oh,
there. I
farm
mean, the
rabbits,
reason
alright.
is because I mean, like there is a saying even in America, like even in English, like a breeding like a rabbit. You know?
Right,
It's like
right.
so quick,
Yeah.
and also like a dying rate is very fast too. Like if one rabbit catches some sort of like a disease, then
Uh-huh.
every and because
Oh,
like they live
really?
in a confinement, so it's like every
I
rabbit
see, I see.
dies.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, so that rabbit, and then like chicken, and I guess goose, ducks. Yeah, but it's not rare. But yeah, pork and rabbits, those two are in my memory. Those two are the very common and very popular meat amongst like elites and people who are upper class. Yeah, upperclassmen,
Upperclassmen.
upper class
I see.
ladies and men.
Okay, well, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me just ask a follow-up question then, since we are talking about a little bit about the diet. Then, if not meat,
Mm-hmm.
how does a North Korean consume protein?
Yeah. Yeah, great. That's a great question.
Thank you.
The simple answer is we don't.
Oh, boy.
The meal that we get, it has to be like nutritionally balanced, right? Some carbs, some proteins, and some all of these different kind of things. But North Korean diet's a very like carb heavy focused, and which makes sense because we gotta work hard, but like cheap proteins like beans, for example, right? Beans as like a lot of protein, and that's actually the main source of protein that North Korean people get is through the tofus, and there is a thing called fake meat, injogogi. So if you're a returning listener from Rubber Ducking Podcast,
Uh-huh.
you might know what that is. If you don't, I highly recommend you actually go checking out the Rubber Ducking Podcast. We have like 40 episodes now.
Wow.
Closer to 40 episodes. Mike and I did and it's actually keep coming as well. We'll probably put this one on the Robert Lickman podcast as well. But
Sounds good.
yeah. So those beans are the most common way to actually consume protein. And the one level above those cheap protein is eggs. And people do eat eggs in North Korea. And I guess one level above is the meat. But I don't ever remember drinking like milk. I do
Wow.
remember like a cow's milk. Oh, by the way, I do want to mention that there's no beef in North Korea. That's either you're a either you are like maybe for elites you do have a meat beef, but for common folks and probably like a middle class or even upper class, if you're not an elite, beef is not accessible to common folks. Yeah, so that's one thing that I really wanted to mention because a lot of people, because like right now in America, it's like hamburgers, right? Steak is really popular, but in North Korea, the reason why the beef is not allowed is because North Korea started using cows as the farming tools, right? Because
It's
North
a-
Korea
it's a
doesn't
tractor.
have right technology, so they've treated cows as the transportations, and North Korea doesn't have resources to feed them nor take care of them really well, so they have a faster rate of dying and malnutrition. And if you were to kill a cow, like you will get publicly executed in North Korea.
Wow.
Because it's like killing a cow is equal to killing a person in North Korea. So, yeah.
All right. Well, so okay, let me ask a follow-up question. And the viewers and listeners, thank you for your questions that are coming. I am monitoring them. And we'll try to get to as many as we can. But I do want to take a moment to just kind of extend the topic just a little bit, and want to hear from both of you regarding, okay, so given that restriction, how were you able to replicate that protein consumption in America? Right. So what did
Yeah.
you eat? What was kind of getting all that, fake protein, or not the real protein, but from non-meat sources?
Yeah.
What was it like?
Yeah. Jess, would you like to take this one?
Yeah. Although that seems like the diet content.
Yeah, I
if
think
we're
we
ready
can
to
get
start.
into it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So the question was, how did I fit protein into my diet without having, the restrictions being what a commoner in North Korea could eat?
That's right. Yeah.
Charles already answered it for you. We kind of can't fully. I'd have to eat like a lot of certain things, I guess. One of the things that I ate the most of was eggs, tofu, and soy milk,
Mm-hmm.
which all had a lot less protein than I realized prior to this diet.
So it's a lot harder to get the protein that you needed from those kind of sources, the plant-based sources. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I kind of want to talk about before we actually jump into the diet videos. I kind of wanted to talk about, I guess, the reason behind like us doing the diet.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So, Jess, would you like to share
Oh.
your kind of like take on like why did you wanted to do it, and how did you felt about it while doing the diet, and how do you feel now after doing the diet? Would you like to share a little bit
All
about
right.
that?
That's very sweet, Charles.
Yeah.
Yes. So it does start out as a slightly funny story, in my opinion, but becomes something meaningful. So at first, what happens is I remember Charles was very generous. He had just cooked for us that day at dinner time, and he said, "I'm going to go on a diet." And I said, yeah, I want to go on a diet too. I'm joining you. Whatever diet it is, I'm on it with you. Clearly did not realize what I was getting into. And originally, Charles had pitched, I think it was called Whole30 or something like that.
Yeah. Right.
And then Mike out of nowhere comes in and says, well, if you're going to do something, you should put it on your YouTube channel.
Uh-huh.
And I agreed to that as well. So then when I started to come up with ideas on how to make that work for your YouTube channel, what I did is I went to your YouTube channel and I scrolled through all of your videos, and I realized not a single one of them, like every single one of them, was very meaningful. All of them clearly had heart and purpose and love for North Korean people.
Well,
And
thank
so-
you.
It's true. So I figured this video would still need to have love for North Korean people. And that would mean that we'd have to have respect for the diet that we could go on. And that diet could be a North Korean diet, but it would need to be respectfully looked into. I think I had two main goals with that. One being that, first, somewhat equally important in a way. One being that it is more accurate, which is what you can provide, but then would still be enough that I'm healthy, which unfortunately that's one of the probably big differences for North Korean people, is that they don't have, like, even though the items we had, the ingredients we had were restricted, we could have 12 eggs instead
Right,
of
we
one.
had abundance of
Yeah,
food here.
exactly.
Yeah.
So even though it was a challenge to get that many calories eating just eggs, we had eggs, and that was not something that was accessible to the average North Korean. So.
Yeah, I mean, I want to add to that. Like, thank you, Jess. And it actually brought me a lot of joy doing the North Korean diet with you, because it, first of all, it gave me a sense of, like, an idea and a sense of, like, a patience as well, you know, because I've been in America for the past, like, 13 years, and while I was living here, I have forgotten, like, what it feels like to wait and what it feels like to cannot have, like, what I want, right, and what I need. So it was just a constant kind of, like, it's like, oh, I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it. Sorry, Ariana Grande, don't sue me. Anyway, joking, but you know, kind of like self-control, like it played a really big part, and it kind of brought me closer to, like, my roots, you know, and that was also, while doing the diet, I also realized that, like, it also feels good too, you know. It's so interesting to think about too, because, like, America and North Korea, we have complete opposite problems, you know, because like in America, overweight is a problem. In North Korea, starvation is a problem.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? And if we were to actually find some sort of, like, a middle ground, right? It's like maybe America can actually adapt something from North Korea, and North Korea probably could adapt certain things from America. But so it was really, it felt great. I've cut off, like, all the American food, right? I mean, we did have some cheat days.
Yes,
That's
that's
right,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
We did have cheat days, and we called it the Elite Diet Day. On those days, we would have, like, we had a steak, we had some wine as well. Things that can be purchased, well, not purchased, but can be consumed by the elites in North Korea. And other times, like, I had to cook, and while I was cooking, while doing the diet, I felt much more healthier too, in a way. The reason is because I've cut off all the excess, like, sugars and like, American products. Like, I did not eat American product. Well, I mean, hey, we live in America, so anything that you buy from grocery store is, like, American made. But I mean, like, things that like a Chinese cabbage and potatoes, right? Things like that. It felt much more healthier, and it brought me closer to the roots. And also doing the diet gave me a lot of, like, purpose too, right? And trying to, like, raise awareness of, like, okay, this is how North Korean people eat, right? And also at the same time showing, like, my main purpose was to actually bring some sort of, like, a cultural shift, right? Cultural awareness to North Korea as well. And I guess in a way to break the like, a stereotypical understanding of, like, all North Korean people are starving. right? Because that's not true. Like, yeah, in the rural areas of North Korea, there are people who's like starving to death, but not all of them are like in the bigger cities, right? Like Sariwon, Cheongjin, Hamhung, and Kaesong, right? And what else? Siniju and all those like bigger cities. Like, I mean, there are a lot of elites, and they're not. Well, elites meaning like not the top 1% who's living in Pyongyang, but
Still very affluent folks.
yeah, affluent, people who's living in those kind of capital cities of North Korea's capital cities of North Korea. They're really well off in a way, and I mean that does not mean that they can actually have beef, right?
Oh, wow.
No
It's
American
only there's no spam, there's no things like that. So it was really nice, and I cut off beer. I love
The man loves beer.
But
But he said had to say goodbye.
yeah, I had to say goodbye for a
Wow.
month, and I could see my tummy actually retracting back. And also I cut off sodas as well, so I could
Wow.
see like my it's like retracting, and that's one of the things like I also really surprised and shocked when I first came to America too, is like the abundance of food. Like there's so many of those food in here in America. And when I was working at sushi restaurants, like we just make so much food, right? And we throw away like so much food. And on the flip side, right? Like America has like I guess like I don't really know this issue in deep kind of in the deep. How do you say like I haven't done deep dive research
in-depth
or
research.
in-depth research, so I don't know, but I just know the surface of it. Like, cause like the obesity is a problem in America. The reason why is because we just go out and we just eat, right? Like fast foods and like foods that are just very oily, salty, and sweet, right? And because we have abundance of food and people just like keep saying like think about people who's starving, other countries, right? And then just trying to like guilt trip you into like eating everything that they have on your plate in a way.
Yeah, in the United States, I think, and this is not to underplay the fact that the United States also has a lot of food insecurity issues.
Oh, yes.
So it's not just
Food
a matter
banks,
of
yeah.
having food available to you,
True,
but
true.
having healthy, balanced diet that is affordable for you. So
Yeah.
a lot of fast food, cheap food, they happen to be very ultra processed, so bad for your health in the long run,
Yeah.
and things like that. So there are some ways when it comes to nutrition. The United States, even amongst the abundance, there are some shortcomings as well.
Yeah.
So, well, Charles, where do you want to take this? You want to talk more about the diet a little bit? Should we answer some questions we've got? What would you like to do?
So let's pause here for a little bit and kind of get back to our audience. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining the live, guys. Just share it with your friends and have more people join us. That'd be great.
All right. Yeah. So, well, then let me ask some of the questions that have come in. So, Mohammed asks, what was the best for you about North Korea? Meaning, I'm assuming, and Mohammed, please correct me if I'm wrong. What were the best parts, like what best memories or best things about North Korea?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. I mean North Korea is my hometown, right? So of course, like my mom, and I think my mom was the best part about North Korea, to be honest, and also alongside my mom, my friends, right? Because I miss my friends, and those two are basically the best part, and because my memory evolves around them, right? And those are all good memories, and of course, like there are bad memories of North Korea, like when I went to North Korean defectors detention center, and while I was working at coal mine, and those are in a way bad memories that I wish that I could just forget, but I don't want to. I don't want to, because that's part of who I am. But yeah. So family, my mom and my friends, and I don't know, maybe one day if I'll ever get to see my friends, but if I do, I will let them know how great America is and South Korea is. I've been to South Korea, and
and I know,
it's
Charles, for you, one of the things that you want to do as a long-term vision for the company that you're running is to give the same exposure and experience that you've had in the United States for the North Korean defectors who are living all over the world, to see like all
That's
the
right.
bad American people, and then the enemy
Right.
country visit it, see the world, see the land of
It's the
opportunity
culture
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's thanks so much for bringing that up, Mike. Yeah, actually, that's one of the I guess like the end goals that one of the end goals that I have is to give opportunities for North Korean defectors who resettled in South Korea the opportunity to come to America and experience cultures that are outside of both North Korea and South Korea, and just come to America and just experience the Golden Gate Bridge and Hollywood, and Washington D.C., the White House. Yeah, like you mentioned, like see the enemy state, see what's their what they're all about.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Mohammed, for the question, and thank you, Charles, for the answer. I'm slightly different direction for Salata. What do you think of the Red Star OS?
Wow. That's the North Korean operating it's like a computer operating system. I have not had much encounters with that. Mike, do you have any
Yeah, I actually
knowledge?
heard a really funny story about that recently.
All
So,
right.
this is one of the Linux distributions that are built specifically for North Korean internal use, and that means that somebody from North Korea had to develop this.
Right.
And recently, there was a report of somebody in the South Korean Linux forums, some guy who is posting is like, "Hey, I'm trying to do something with this thing," but the way that he wrote his question was not the language. I mean, it's of course Korean, but not in a way that people typically speak in South Korea. Really trying to solve this problem. So of course, like South Koreans, like, oh yeah, just go look up the manual for this, right? Here, go look up internet resources. There are answers. And they had some miscommunication, and then this guy's like, I can't, right? The guy doesn't have internet access
Yeah.
other than maybe one specific, forum access that they've been given or something like that. So there were a little bit of kind of a glimpse into how did North Korea do this, and perhaps is this one heroic, right, North Korean Linux developer that had to be sleuthing in the South Korean forums, because I assume that he also doesn't speak that much English, right?
Yeah.
To finally figure out how to do this thing. Yeah, I mean, there are other videos in much more in-depth of using this operating system. So, I mean, we are unfortunately not the experts of it, but I certainly encourage you to go look that up and, please tell us what you find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And the next question, this was something that is potentially related to the diet as well. From Robert, a soldier who escaped was found from North Korea, of course, to have internal parasites / worms common for many North Koreans. Food related, and then Charles, I know that you can speak on this.
Yeah, man. I heard that salt. I think it's in salt in Korean term we call it hwaechungyak. So it's like as a kid, like everybody has it in North Korea. Probably not the elites, but common folks like us, we all have it. The reason is because we use human feces as the fertilizer, and then we eat that, right? So
it's a cycle of life.
Exactly. So I remember like taking like a big bottle of like a hwaechungyak that was made in China, like a pill.
It's a deworming pill.
Yeah, deworming pill.
That's what we usually feed our pets here in the United States.
Really?
Mm-hmm,
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's bizarre.
And what happened when you took the pill?
Oh yeah, I just poop out like bunch of worms. Like literally looks like a thick noodles just coming out of your butt. Sorry, Jesse is just horrified. But I mean that's how it is. Like you would just go, and if you walk on like a random street, sometimes like you will see like puddle of like just big worms because like somebody on the side of the road.
Oh
like,
no! Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah.
Oh god!
Yeah, somebody just pooped it like on the
okay.
side of the road.
And then see worms.
Yeah, it's dead worms. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a real problem.
How do the worms usually die then?
They
other than the pill.
They just live there forever if you don't take care of it.
Oh.
They don't die. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean that's why Oh Chung-sung, right, the guy who escaped through DMZ, like he was. I mean, by that age, like by the time when you go to military, you should have been dewormed, and you should have, because like it's when you're a kid, right? When you're a kid, and maybe when you're in school. Like the parents are supposed to give them the hwaechungyaks, and you're supposed to be dewormed, but it seems like he wasn't, and it could possibly have come back as well, But yeah, that's something that we all live with. Like it's not something that we can try to get rid of because I mean we eat, you know, foods that were grown from poops. So yeah.
Are those like deworming pills something that are offered to the common people?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
not.
no, you have to buy it from the Tangmadang.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
from the black market.
From the black market.
Oh, so
yeah.
the government doesn't
No,
provide.
no,
Oh,
no, no, no,
wow.
no. Government does not provide medications, just so you know.
Oh.
They do not
And
provide
it's
medication.
all through the black market.
It's all through. Like, they say it's free, right? They say it's free. Like, education is free.
Free.
Healthcare is free, but it's just non-existent because it's just terribly bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that you talked about this before, Charles, in the podcast episode. Even when people go to the hospital, even the hospitals don't have the medication,
Right.
so you have to buy it from the black market and bring it with you.
That's right.
Right.
You know the penicillin, right?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
ever heard about
yeah.
penicillin?
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
penicillin, and then there's like a liquid format of the medication, and then there is the powder version of medication. So we have to like get the liquid out and then put the liquid in the powder version and just mix it, and then those two were the. And then there's another pill called 정통편. I'm not sure if you know 정통편. It's a Chinese-made medication that's kind of like a silver bullet to like any headaches or some sort of like a cold and whatnot.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever try it?
I did, yeah.
Was it helpful?
It was helpful, yeah. I think it probably have made with like some sort of opium. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it might have had opium in it.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay, well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And let's see. Next question from Cats Rule Gaming. Is North Korea as bad as people think?
First of all, I love the username. Cats Roll Gaming. Shout out. Is North Korea as bad as people think? That's a great question. I guess like I guess like in what sense, right? So political or the people wise, right? Political wise, it's worse than you think because trying to speak up for your rights, there's no freedom of movement, there's no freedom of speech.
There's no concept of human
There's
rights.
no concept of
right.
the human rights. I mean, if you watch one of my videos recently, we've done that like 10 words that does not exist in North Korea, but that's just not a concept of a thing in North Korea, so it's worse than you think. But when it comes to like cultural kind of differences, like there are a lot of like, I mean, people think that every like earlier we mentioned like does everybody is starving and is everyone brainwashed? Is everyone wants to go to war with America? Like or like does everybody hates America? No, it's not that bad. Well, no, I should say not that bad. It's let me try to find the right word. Some parts of North Korea, of course, like there are some North Koreans, right? There's some and I would say a lot of North Koreans do like, because they've been brainwashed for like 70 years, so they do believe whatever the North Korean regime tells them, right? But people who live near the border town, like they have seen what's going on outside of North Korea, because like they see Chinese people and they see tourism and people, and also they consume foreign medias like South Korean drama, so they do know what's going on outside of North Korea. So things are changing, and culturally, I'm not talking about politically, but culturally things are changing, and there are a lot of shifts in North Korea because of the foreign medias, and because of the smugglers bringing different things into North Korea. Well, that was until 2012, until before I escaped North Korea. So things might be a lot different now with Kim Jong-un in his power, because he's much 100 times more stricter than either his dad or his grandfather. So it might be a lot different now. But back then, there was like I mean, I would hear my mom telling me, and my mom telling me that, like, she would see dead bodies on the side of the road because she grew up. Oh, I mean, her prime time was the Konane Hengun, the arduous march, and people were just starving to death, and she would just see side of the road because the hospital did not have enough room, so they have to pile the bodies in front of the hospital because there is no room to put in all of these corpses. Anyway, but it's not like that now. Like I've personally, I have witnessed one dad who was crying because his daughter, like a little baby girl, died on the side of the road because of the starvation. Besides that, that was when I was like 12 in Sariwon. Besides that, I have not seen people starving to death, or I have not witnessed corpses on the side of the road. So yeah, I mean, if you listen to Road Wrecking podcast, that we actually talked about it.
We do cover it quite a bit. Yeah,
I think that was like one of the earlier episodes as well.
That's right. Well, thank you for that, Charles. I'm going to ask one more kind of a slightly non-diet related question, and then we're going to go back into your diet a little bit with another question. Jonathan asks, how do you find a wife in North Korea? Does anyone ever choose their relationship, or is it all assigned?
Oh, just is
Okay.
Let's see. So, it's that's a really great question, and I can't really speak into that deeply because I left North Korea before I went. I could.
You sure,
actually-
Charles? There's no hidden wife in North
right,
Korea?
a hidden child. No, I do not. But so, yes, arranged marriage is a thing. Their parents can actually arrange it, for the kids, and just they get married. That's how they do it. And governments can actually assign you a wife and a house as well. Well,
What?
house is also
Wife?
Yeah,
Really?
wife,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing too. So you've heard about Okwa, right? So the 5th division.
Yeah.
Right? Okwa and Yukwa. So those are the people who've been chosen and selected. Like that, you have to have very specific look, right? You have to be tall. You have to be looking really nice for women. And they are like teenagers, like they're 17, and they get picked to be like literally like the Kipumjo and basically
the pleasure squad, yeah.
pleasure squad, and basically meaning like a sex slave to Kim Jong Un and Kim Jong Il and what and when you and then from there you can be picked to be some elites. Well, now we're talking about like the high elites, but
Right, the high-ranking officials,
higher
not
ranking
just
officials, not just everybody in
Yeah,
North
you're
Korea.
right.
But yeah, when you go to that Okwa and Yuka, you can be chosen to be wife of some official's sons or daughters, and whatnot. But for common folks, they do usually meet in an organic way, right? Because there's like a dating is a thing in North Korea as well. They have arranged marriage, and the government assigns you a wife and like things like that. Because like whenever in the militaries, right? So that's a strictly assigning a wife to the husband is a specifically a military settings, right? So when you've done something heroic, the both male and female has to be the military, right? They have to be in the military to get partnered up. Like the government officials would, the regime, the military officers would say, you two should get married, and then you should live there.
Yeah.
And dating, people date in North Korea, and they date quite a while too. And a lot of people that I know, they've met their spouses, like our neighbors. They've met spouses during their military careers. I hope that answers your question.
All right, thank you. Okay, and then this is a question that we're going to pivot back to the diet content with. Were you, so this is by Umzini, were you skinny in North Korea?
I actually was very skinny when I was in North Korea. I'm not sure if I can actually show the picture of...
Well, yeah, we don't have that set up right now, but I know that there's a really good illustration that you use, right? using
Yes, the
fists to
fists.
measure how
Yeah.
skinny you are. So can you talk about that?
Yeah. So when you're malnourished, if you're a doctor, if you're watching this, and if you're a doctor, please let me know. And is this how Western people actually measure their malnourishness as well? But you actually measure different type of malnourishness with your fist. So if one fist goes in, that's like and you just stand up and you put your legs together, and you clench your fist and you put it through between your legs. If your one fist goes in
Between
you're
your thighs, right?
between your
Yeah.
thighs, you're pretty malnourished. For me, when I was in the detention center, two fists went in. I stood up and then I went like this. I put it. Two fists went in. So yes, I was pretty malnourished. And besides that, yeah, I was very skinny. Yeah, and other times too, when I wasn't in the detention center, I was pretty skinny as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. So, I mean, I'm really happy to see both of you no longer in a situation where you have to worry about how many fists are fitting between your legs. But I know as part of the diet, you did lose some weight, correct? Not to that degree, but how much did you lose?
Yes. Jess, would you like
No,
to
you
go?
can go first.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like I lost like 4 pounds, like
In 1 month, yeah?
In 1 month, only 4 pounds. And man, that was so hard. I can't it was so hard. But yeah, I've lost 4 pounds. Yeah.
All right, Jess.
That's amazing. I think it was 6.5 pounds, but I had a baby a few years ago and the weight still hasn't left, so it probably is easier for me to lose the.
But 6.5.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I
that's
think
very
I've gained 1.5 back already.
Yeah. I think drinking water too, and
Okay, well, so let me ask you this now. Just continuing to talk about the diet, then, right? Can you just talk about your 3 meals, right? Charles, starting with
Yeah.
Charles. Like, what are you doing? What do those meals look like? What's in it? What are you eating? What are you feeling when you're eating them? What is that like?
Yeah. So I usually skipped breakfast and lunch.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes I just skip breakfast. I mean, like I don't really eat breakfast in general. When I had even food in America, I really didn't eat breakfast, and I just went straight to either lunch or dinner. Like I wouldn't eat lunch either. But when I do, and when I was on the diet, I mainly survived on tofu and eggs. And like we mentioned earlier, there was abundance of eggs. Again, like just mentioned, like you can only get like 1 or 2 eggs, right, at best
Right, in North Korea.
in North Korea. But I ate like 6.
Wow, elite
So,
status right there.
yeah. So yeah, I was living the elite diet.
Wow.
And I also cooked like potato dishes as well and cabbage dish.
Oh.
And I did put like once or twice I did put like pork in it, because sometimes like on a special occasions and holidays, like I did eat meat.
And was that coming from the rations, or where did that come from in North Korea?
Oh yeah, we buy it.
Oh, you
yeah,
do
at
still
a
buy it?
market.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I
at
see.
a black market, we purchase it at
Okay.
the black market. But again, like that's a good point. Like it is actually rationed too. Like North Korean people get rations from the regime. So they do give you rations and meat as well. Like they give you meat, oil, soy sauce, and like a doenjang and the soybean paste and things like that. But we did have to buy. Because they didn't give us that.
I
They're
see.
supposed to, but they did not.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I would make like rice as well. What's really funny too is like in America, like brown rice is more expensive, right?
Oh,
And
is
white
it?
rice is more cheaper. Brown rice is a little bit more expensive because it's a healthy food, right? But in North Korea, it's the opposite. Like we have brown rice like everywhere, and the white rice is really expensive because it's processed to make it that white. Yeah, the rice itself is processed to make it that way, so it's much more expensive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jessica, what were your meals like?
Well, you would know.
Yes, I would.
I think mostly all I can think of is eggs and plums. There would be some days where I ate nothing but eggs and plums.
You know, I actually remember just would text me, was like, hey, is this a North Korean diet? Like, is this, am I allowed to eat this? Am
That's
I
right.
allowed to do this? Like, I remember like texting all this too. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thank you for answering them. And
Yeah.
actually, what was even more helpful is Charles had sat down with me and told me like a list of all of these different ingredients and foods that I could eat during the diet, and then I could just find a way to make it work. And then I think a second time I texted you like a list of things that I'm like, I kind of want to eat this, and the answer was no. But
I remember that.
But
yeah.
you did tell me that they don't have fruit, but they did have pears and plums.
Yep.
So even that's probably
And
something.
apples.
Oh, I forgot about apples. I don't really like.
Did you miss
apples.
that? Oh, you just don't like.
I
that.
bought
Okay.
apples and I let Autumn eat them because I was like, nah, I'd rather just not eat. I
Yeah.
don't like apples.
Right. I mean, I do remember when we went to Costco to prepare for your diet, you bought like 3 whole bags, Costco-sized bags of plums. Like, surely, like these are gonna go bad before you can eat them all, right? And what happened?
I ate them within the week because that was
Yeah.
all I ate.
I don't think
eggs
it even
and
took a
plums.
week. Like just like 3 or 4 days.
It was just eggs and plums.
the only thing she
Wow.
Most days. But there was a couple days where I had corn because you told me that they have corn.
Yes.
And there were a couple days where I had kimchi, which I don't actually know if that's on the diet. I thought you told me it was.
No,
but
kimchi's good. Yeah.
Okay,
Kimchi
good.
was on the diet.
Good, good.
So if anybody is willing to give this a try, please comment down on my one of the diet videos, I guess.
oh,
and we'll
you could write the list of foods and
yeah,
meals.
and you can actually write your list as well.
Yeah, I can. It's kind of limited, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. And before we continue, just for the folks who have joined recently, we are currently live, and I'm monitoring the chat as a facilitator. We're going over what was doing North Korean diet in no other place other than the United States. Like, what were the
Yeah.
effects? What were the kind of reasons, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And my next question for you all is, okay, so let's say that somebody does want to try this. Right? Where would they get these like North Korean approved, right? Like things that you can get in North Korea. How do you find those things in the United States?
Yeah, that's a great question. You can actually find it on the local grocery stores, right? And obviously, you probably can't buy like sausages and spams, right? Those kind of things, or like ice cream, for example. You can't really get that. But like peppers and like I guess like a meat, like a pork, like I said. And if you can find rabbit meat, that's also North Korean approved, right? Because rabbit is a big kind of like the part of the North Korean diet. And corn, yeah, and you can actually find it at the local grocery stores, yeah, except like the American produced like products, yeah. I wouldn't say things that are packaged up. You probably you can't get in North Korea.
Right. Yeah.
Anything that is in the either egg section, tofu sections, right, or like the produce section, you can get it. But yeah, if it's packaged, you probably can't get that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And just from American perspective, I mean, what was it like shopping for North Korean food in the United States? And we live in a region where even like the traditional Korean food, like the South Korean food, is not really readily available locally. So how did you find the stuff that you needed to get?
Well, thankfully, some of the basics were available in the United States, like eggs and plums. But I don't know. You're asking how did I find North Korean foods that
Yeah,
don't
where did you
exist?
go to buy these things?
Just regular grocery stores for eggs
I
and
see.
plums.
Okay. So you didn't go out looking specifically for the things in very specific stores. Sounds like the most grocery stores just had what they needed.
Not really. I would go to. Okay, so I had to go to like 4 grocery stores to find soy milk, which I know sounds stupid because everywhere has soy milk, right? But no, Silk
not
was
everywhere has.
oat milk or coconut milk or almond milk.
So many options.
And I was like, none of this is soy milk. You guys aren't stocked with soy milk. So yeah, I remember that it was sometimes a challenge to find. And the thing is, I'm pretty certain Silk, the type of soy milk that I like,
Yeah.
doesn't probably exist. It's probably an American product. It probably doesn't exist in North
is there
North
soy milk
Korea.
in North Korea?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
And
but
that's-
not that brand specifically.
No,
But
I
not
don't
yet.
think
Oh.
so. Yeah.
Have you ever tried Silk? I wonder if it tastes like soy milk tastes the same in North Korea.
What's Silk?
Oh, it's just a brand.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Like,
I have not tried American brand soy milk.
Oh, come on over after the live stream and we'll have you try it.
Yeah.
That's
When
true.
we fed it to our
Mine might
toddler,
be
our toddler had
expired.
one word for it.
Uh.
Yucky.
Yucky.
It's true. Okay, so before the diet, she would want to mooch off of everything that I have. And so what would happen is I would make myself a meal, and half of that meal would be gone because she would have eaten all of that half. And I'd be like, whatever, I don't need the whole meal.
Yeah.
But you remember physically, all right, so there was this one thing that I'm not sure if is exactly North Korean approved, but I asked you if grains are okay, and you were like, grains are fine. And I'm not sure if that's actually how true you would consider that, but I bought this thing that said it's not oat or something, or I don't know, whatever it was. It was something that I think was approved, but it's kind of like this grain that's been pulverized into a powder, and then you pour hot water into it, and then you stir it and you eat it.
Yeah.
And so I made that, and Mike asked me like, "Oh, what's it taste like?" And I said like, "Gravel that's wet." I don't know. And then Autumn wanted to try it, and so Mike, what was her reaction when she tried it?
She went just spit it right out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Oh, that's really funny.
That was just
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna take a quick break. We will be back in about 5 minutes. We do want to get some water, and we don't want to. I don't want to.
It's quite warm in the studio tonight.
Yeah.
So.
So we'll be right back.
All right. Thank you for joining, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone.
I think that was less than 5 minutes.
Was it? Well, all right. Hopefully, we were quick about it. Thanks for waiting.
Thank you so much for waiting, guys.
All right. Well, I mean, what do you want to do now, Charles? Would you like to answer a few more questions about North Korea?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's do that. Let's see. This is one from Robert. Do officials from the North Korea DPRK try to contact you or bother you after your move to the United States? Hackers or undercover people? Or is it something that if you talk about it, we have to go, have people in suits visit them?
Actually, that's kind of the questions that I get all the time. Like, oh, are you safe in America? Like, are you in danger of your life? No. The reason is because I am an American citizen, so I am protected. The second reason, the reason why I am okay, it's because I am insignificant compared to a lot of other different North Korean defectors, right? I mean, there are a lot of other people who have escaped North Korea, holding a tremendous power in North Korea, like a Tae-yong, for example, right? I was like,
what was he in North Korea?
He was a North Korean diplomat.
Wow.
Tae-yong.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different like North Korean defectors with higher importance that doesn't like me. So thanks for asking that question. But yeah, I am currently safe. I am okay. I have not gotten any and even if I did, it probably went to spam folder or it's like I don't really check. I don't really, talk to strangers, well, I mean, unless you guys are my fan, maybe, I don't know. Hey, Mike, are you a North Korean spy? The man's not answering.
Wait, say one thing that sounds like North Korean accent.
내래 북녘에서. Anyways.
Hey, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Well, but that's okay. The thing that I probably shouldn't say on live stream, I can't say that is about Kim Jong Un. I can say that Kim Jong Un is very fat. So how about that?
There we go. There we go.
All right. This one's from BKC Hart. How old were you when you started working?
How old was I when I started working? So I did help out with my half brother's wives a farm a little bit when I was like 13, but I started working at coal mine when I was 16 years old, like for rice. So I had to lie about my age because you do have to be 18 to be assigned a job or even work at the coal mine. And as you guys may know, North Korea is a socialist country, so there is no working for money or like the monthly salary or monthly things like that. So instead of getting paid money, we got paid rice, 30 kilograms of rice. And let me tell you, North Korea. Well, I mean, people sometimes people are corrupt, right? So instead of honestly giving out 30 kilograms of rice, what they do is they take some away and they mix it with like rocks, like rocks that are the size of like rice to make sure that it's not hugely noticeable. They mix it with rocks and they mix it with they wet it a little bit too to make it it actually weigh a little bit more than what it actually is. So yeah, it's like 28 kilograms or like 29.5 instead of being like, it's not hugely noticeable, right? But still like they do those kind of things. So when you actually get it and when you're trying to sell it, it's kind of like, or I mean, it doesn't really matter because, well, like when you got it from the coal mine owners, like if you sell it right away, then you will sell it as 30 kilograms of rice. But when you start to use it, right, and you will notice like, what the
right.
And there is a process that we go through. We wash rice. And do you know what sarang bagaji is?
Is it like a strainer?
Yeah, but it's made with different like a teeth, so that it actually catches those kind of rocks.
Stones. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So long story. that's a long way of saying I started working at coal mine when I was 16.
Well, I mean, you tell stories and you tell them all. That's why we are here to hear stories, Charles. Okay, a few more questions here, and I see that more are coming in as well. And again, we're going to try to cover as many as we can given the time that we have. But if we do not happen to get to yours, please come back at another
Yes,
live stream and
yeah.
or send them in through info.
Rubberducking at gmail.com.
And
That's
we will
right.
feature your question on our podcast as able.
Yes.
All right, so let me ask you the next question. So this is from a user with a Japanese username here, which mentions the moon cycle. Sorry, I don't speak Japanese. Hello, I have a question. Is it possible to communicate with the North Korean people from the outside, like through phone or mail, like how a person that can pass messages? I know you talked about this in our podcast a little bit,
Yeah.
but what is the main form of communication?
Yeah, so I mean, you can't really talk to North Korean people like with our cell phones. You can't really call North Korea.
Right.
You can send in mails. You can write a letter and then you can send it to North Korea, and that will get to North Korea. But there is no guarantee, and the person who's on the receiving end will receive that. But there is other way of communication is people that are on the border towns. Right, it was before I left North Korea or before I skipped the second time, which is 2011. People who lives in the border town, they actually own Chinese cell phones. So people who are outside of North Korea, they can actually call that Chinese phone number, and that's the method of a communication. Like you can ask, so you would ask a broker to actually go to near China and throw the cell phone to the other end, and you would of course coordinate time and like day and time to for that person to come pick up the cell phone, right? It's not a smartphone. It's gotta be Nokia. It can't be a iPhone, or it cannot be Samsung. It can shatter, That's why we need Nokia, There's like
Yeah.
I saw the commercial where like Nokia like stops like tank or like the bullet or something like that. So it was like a brick phone. It was not a smartphone. They would throw that, they of course you wrap it with like some things, and then they would throw it. They would pick it up and they would actually call each other. So I think that's how, even now as well, even these days, there are brokers who are communicating in North Korea. So smuggled in Chinese cell phones and even South Korean cell phones. But again, like that kind of communication method comes with a great risk, right? Because North Korean regime cracks down on the communication to outside like very heavily, and they treat that like a treason, right? So
Wow.
not just you, but your 3 generations, your family will be persecuted if you were found guilty of contacting South Korea.
Wow.
What if you're found guilty contacting America?
Oh, that would be even worse.
Fourth
High
generation.
treason, right? Yeah.
High treason, not
Yeah.
just any treason, but high treason.
Absolutely.
Oof.
Well,
So-
since we're talking about communicating to North Korean people, and this is from Kaio Ninja 200. Charles, if you could say one sentence for all North Koreans to hear, what would it be?
Whoa. That's a deep and great question. First of all, I want to say, hey friends, I'm alive. I'm just like
Aw.
strictly
Oh
for
my
my
God,
friends.
that's so
I am in America. I came here a long time ago, and like I could just sit with you and tell you how my life was the past 14 years, and let me tell you, it's been 13 years, I guess. It's been great. Things are of course a lot different. There was a lot of struggles and challenges that you have to face. Things that you used to face in North Korea. There are, believe it or not, even here there are challenges. But one thing that is the same in North Korea or in the different country is not losing hope, not giving up. Right? If I were to give up in that coal mine, I don't think I would have made it here. If I were to give up at the river, if I gave up and just went back to North Korea, I probably wouldn't be here. And if I were to give up and just lie down and do nothing in the Chinese forest, then I would not be here. So I want to encourage my friends who maybe possibly watching this or not, I would say 힘내서. I don't think they speak English, but
Right. So in Korean, I can translate. Yeah.
조금 더 힘내서 그 우리나라 밖에서 그런 경험들, 좋은 경험들 할 수 있는 기회가 꼭 올 거니까 힘들어도 조금만 힘내서 버텨서 살아가면은 그런 날이 꼭 올 거야. 그리고 우리 둘이 만나서 술도 마시고 재밌게 놀고 또 얘기도 많이 하고 게임도 많이 놀고 그런 날이 꼭 올 거야. 그러니까 조금만 힘내서 조금만 더 버텨. 파이팅.
All right. So what Charles said in English was "ganbatte desu." No, that's wrong language. I'm just kidding. That was Japanese. Just there will be a day where we can get back together, enjoy, share a drink together, just enjoy just a little bit longer. That day will come. Just a message of hope. So thank you, Charles. That's
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely
Thanks for asking that question.
encouraging. And thank you, Scarlett, for supporting. She says, great someone sharing the stories of North Korea. Again, I really appreciate everyone being here to listen to these
Yeah.
stories and, having known Charles for some time and knowing his heart. More there are people who listen to and share and are compassionate towards these causes, the more effective Charles's businesses and also his dreams are closer to coming true. So thank you again for that. All right. So I'm going to kind of try to pivot back to the diet content a little bit. And then this is actually starting with a Robert's question as well. Tree bark. So there are stories of North Koreans eating tree bark. I know I heard it as a South Korean. Is that just a desperation food, or is it also in like the diet? Not, of course, the diet that you guys did, but did you ever eat tree bark? Is that something people eat normally?
Thankfully, I did not have to eat tree bark, nor there's a type of dirt that you can't eat.
I don't know if that's any better.
And also 벼뿌리 is also it's in the diet, like
I see the root of the
rice
plant.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also in dietary. Yeah, so during the 고난의 행군, it's the arduous march, people would eat the root of the rice plant, and they would eat kind of like the dirt. It's like you can make a cookies and you can make noodles out of it too. It's like a 진흙 type of
Mud?
clay.
Oh,
Yeah,
clay,
type
okay.
of clay that you can eat. And of course tree barks. And some people even ate like belts as well.
Oh, the literal belt that you would wear to dye
right,
them with
right,
clothing.
yeah.
It has leather.
Yeah,
Okay,
leather,
wow.
like a leather belt. I mean,
Oh.
if you had the leather belt, then
Ah.
you would eat that. Yeah. So thankfully, I did not have to eat any
I
of
see.
those.
So
Right?
it seems like it's more the desperation.
yeah,
food
it's
rather than
very
part of the diet. Okay.
it's very for a very
Gotcha.
desperation. Yeah.
So with that, my question to you about your diet was: what was the worst food item that you had to eat for the diet, and what was the best food item? Of course, not including the cheat days, of course, right?
Yeah.
What was worst and the best? All right, go for it.
I gotta say, like, regardless of how worst I have it in America, it can never compare to the one that I've used to have it in North Korea.
That's right.
Eating like a live rat, right? Or like a tiny, like a newborn, like a mice, like a live. It's like it moves around in your tongue, Oh, but that's not North Korean diet. I was more of a desperation, and also like dry vomit, those kind of things. But because I had that kind of experience, like I would say the worst. I don't know. I guess it's like worst was like eating eggs, and then also the best was like eating eggs.
Oh,
Because
that's
like
interesting.
at one point, like when I was eating eggs, like I would like burp and it smelled like chicken poop. So like
Yeah.
kinda-
Wait.
no, it's like it smelled really weird.
Okay,
like
so both eggs. that's
hard boiled
interesting.
eggs. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
hard boiled eggs. But I love eggs. Like don't get me wrong. Like
Uh-huh.
I love eggs.
All right.
Um.
Okay, well, Jessica, what were your worst foods and the best foods on North Korean diet?
I'm so glad that Charles, you described eggs like that because that's how I feel about soy milk and tofu. Um,
Smells like chicken poop.
doesn't smell like chicken poop, but at first I really loved soy milk and tofu, but I wouldn't like cook the tofu or anything. I just ate what's it called, sundubu, soft tofu. So I didn't
yeah.
cook it. And I didn't put it in any stew. I should have at least like boiled it with kimchi or something. But something about it was really sickening to me at some point. Where all I'm eating is this.
Yeah.
I loved it at first, and towards the end, I was kind of
Tofu.
gagging.
You know, I think if we are gonna be doing the North Korean diet again, I would actually do different variations of like potatoes and different variations of like tofus. Like I would cook it
Ooh.
differently. Like I would deep fry it. I would stir fry it. I would.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like steam it maybe.
Ooh.
So is that kind of common because North Korea, of course, the choices are limited. I'm sure the way you cook it or slice it and dice it, that must add some diversification. 'Cause it's the only
Absolutely.
option. Okay.
Yeah, you know, actually, North Korea, they claim that they have like 100 different recipes with potato.
Ooh.
No, actually, North Korea actually made up like
Ooh.
they've like.
But without like adding cheese, right?
No,
Or
no,
bacon,
just
of course,
strictly with potatoes. Like you know, mash
Wow.
it, you know, and you grind it, you freeze it, you steam it, you boil it, and you whatever it is, like 100.
Wow.
I'm not kidding, 100. So
Uh-huh.
maybe we can make a noodle out of it too,
Yeah,
and
potato
you
noodle,
can
yeah,
make
yeah,
alcohol out of it too.
Right.
That's already two right there.
Okay.
You know, we could have one day a month North Korean diet, North Korean dinner.
We should probably do like
Would you eat it too, Mike? We make
I
North
mean,
Korean
yeah,
dinner.
Charles
once a
has
month?
made it before for us, and I,
Oh, that's true.
you know, it
That's
can be meat eater friendly.
meat eater friendly.
Or,
Yeah,
or-
yeah, actually.
it can be quite delicious. So
Yeah.
one day a month is not a problem, I think.
How about 1 week out of the month?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Wow. All right. One day. One. Yeah. I like that idea.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Maybe your viewers will want more update.
yeah, absolutely.
Possibly.
Okay, so we have some questions that are just like pouring in. So again, thank you guys for all the support. And I know that Lazy Lizzie, thank you for all the questions you're bringing in. I don't know which one to pick because I feel like I should pick here, but let's ask you this one. What Lazy Lizzie asks, what long-term health problems have you had because of what happened to you as a child in North Korea?
That's a great question. I would say the more visible one is my height. I'm very short. The reason is because when I
The
was
man's like 4 foot.
yeah,
I'm
very
just kidding.
short.
It's not that.
I think it's because like when I was younger, when I was 14, right, and when I was 15, I went to the North Korean defectors, the detention center where I was very malnourished. Right, that's the age where I would grow, right, and even after coming out of that detention center, I I had to work in a coal mine carrying like really heavy coals sacks. So I think height is most visible one, but other than that, I don't have any long-term health problems. I mean, praise God, right? I don't have any problems. Though one time there was I did thought about like doing the self-harm because it was really challenging. But thankfully I'm here.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, thank you so much for the question. Yeah.
yeah. And Jess?
And for the record, Charles is not short. You're taller than your wife, whereas Mike, you can't say you're taller than your wife.
that is true. But that is because you
Yes.
are tall.
Jess is taller than I am.
That's what I like to say. So,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you. Thank you for pointing out. Charles is not that short.
Short king. Thanks, Epic Hall.
All right. Let's do a couple more questions here. Let's go to Scarlett's question. Are there any countries that North Korea was actually openly fond of inside of North Korea?
Russia, China, some countries in Africa like Congo, I think it was like Iraq or Iran, or one or the other. Yeah,
I see.
all those like dictatorship countries, like even like I think it's Zimbabwe as well.
Zimbabwe. Wow.
I think don't quote me on it, but I think it was Zimbabwe.
I see.
Sweden, North Korea took bunch of Volvo from Sweden and still
Oh yeah, they
hasn't paid.
smuggled them in now.
But I mean, yeah, they I guess for a while because they were doing the business. Of course, like Russia and China is up there. And I'm sure you guys recently seen the Kim Jong Un actually crying of the soldiers who lost lives at the Ukraine war. It was just strictly for shows, right? Showing that like, oh, I've did this for you, Putin. So now you owe me big one.
Oh, I see.
in
So,
a
and
way.
this is actually addressing one of the questions that came here from Kaio Ninja 200. So he was asking, or this person was asking, do you think Kim Jong Un's reaction during his tribute to the fallen soldiers in Russia that happened a few days ago, is what you're referring to, do you think that was genuine?
Nope.
You don't think it was just a show?
No, it's not. It's for all for show. Like it's just showing that North Korea has lost a great assets or
I see.
like
They made a
showing
sacrifice for
remorse.
Putin.
Yeah, it's like a sacrifice, right? And so Russia now you can't turn back. Like you can't turn your back on us when we need you the most.
I
So it's just
see.
all for show. It's not genuine. That's not
Right. I
genuine
mean,
at all.
because he controls all those decisions. So if he so cared about those soldiers, knowing that they would be
Dead. Like why would you send them
Right,
to their
wow,
to be like a 총알바지, like a what's like a bullet
right, the human
catcher?
shield.
The human shield? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for asking the question, but I don't think it was genuine.
I see. Okay. Let's do a couple more questions. This one from James. Is it much more difficult to escape North Korea today, you think, than when you did?
Yeah. So there, if you were to actually go to the Ministry of Reunification, it's a South Korean website. They give you the breakdowns of each year how many North Korean defectors actually have resettled in South Korea, because they have to report that to the government, because the government actually helps them with resettlement. And I was seeing that like I think 2020 was like zero, like. It was extremely like because back in like 2020s, like 2010s, like there have been like thousands and like like it took like 3,000 and then it went down to like 2,500 and then like 1,500 and then like 800 and then 600 and 500 and then eventually like 2 and then like 0. So yeah, I mean to say the least, yeah, it's gotten a lot worse and it's gotten a lot difficult because of the Kim Jong Un's like tightening the borders and Chinese regime persecuting North Korean defectors and just capturing them and just sending them right back to North Korea. Yeah, so it's a lot difficult now.
Okay, thank you. And this one's from Robert. Do you ever see, or did you ever see a foreign tour group walk by during your time living in North Korea?
Good question. The short answer is no, because the tour guide only shows them in Pyongyang, right? And even if the tour group passes the citizens by, they're not walking, right? They're always in the car. If they're going outside of Pyongyang or like a given like area or like a given specifically given like territory? No, not territory. Given like a place where they can go visit. Though when I was a lot younger, so my hometowns, I was born and raised in a small town called Changjin. So Changjin, 함경남도 장진군. So it's one of I have a friend who is Marine, and he was telling me they have to train in Alaska. Under a heavy snow and under a heavy like really cold situations. The reason is because American Marines lost during the Korean War to North Korean soldiers in my hometown because it was just so cold and they just didn't know what to do, and North Korean soldiers actually came in and like with the knives like killed a bunch of American soldiers. The reason why I'm saying that is because I was born and raised in that town where the Americans were lost, which is called Chosin Reservoir. So in the Chosin, I was born in Chosin Reservoir, and I would often see white Mercedes Benz, right? Or it's like they call it Benz, Benz. White Benz, right? With a yellow flag attached coming into my hometown and
Whoa.
getting the remains of the soldiers and bringing them out, right? So it's the Americans, and we as a kid, I was always taught that okay, you need to vow to any cars that are passing by, like sedans, because
Oh.
cars are rare commodity in
They're
North
all, like, elite
Korea,
high-ranking officials
right?
are coming
Exactly.
to
So
you.
if you
Okay.
see one of those cars, that means that's like a very important person.
Uh-huh.
So you have to vow, and you have to like literally vow
bow down, yeah.
vow down. But but with those white cars with yellow flags, the teachers told us not to bow because
Oh,
those are
it's
Americans.
Oh,
yeah, so it's like
wow.
no. Speed on them.
Interesting.
No, but yeah,
I see.
they did not want us to vow. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Another one from Jordan. Does North Korea have racial diversity?
Oh, good question. If you're actually a Patreon supporter, you might have seen one of the clips that I went up. But I highly encourage you to check out my Patreon. There's some great funny contents. And if you're coming back from my Patreon and watching this, thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, with your support, I can actually help my producer produce more videos and expand our business operations. Okay, sorry, I lost track. But going back, no, there is no racial diversities in North Korea. There's not like pure North Koreans.
Right.
But I do remember North Korea was very fond of like African like a they would used to play a lot of like documentaries that like Kim Jong Il visiting like some countries in Africa and doing a lot of different things and trying to like say like racially equal kind of things. I can't quite remember how it was, but that's like what I used to watching growing up. But yeah, I've never seen blonde person. I've never seen any other people who are not North Koreans when I was in North Korea.
Right. I do know that there is one, I don't know if he was American, I think he was, who did end up in North Korea, and he plays all the bad guys in the propaganda
yes.
movies. And he was gifted like Japanese wife or something like that.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And he eventually, good memory.
Yeah,
Good
okay.
memory. Yes, actually, there was American soldier, a POW. I was POS, but sorry. Yeah, it's a POW. He was, and then I think there are total like 5 different people, Americans actually defected to North Korea. The most recent one being Travis King. I was like, what? You want to go to North Korea? What?
Yeah.
But yeah. So there have been like 5 Americans who went to North Korea.
Right.
Wait, so you said 5 Americans went to North Korea.
They defected
Defected.
to North Korea.
Did they all do propaganda videos?
I remember only one guy was actually.
And he's quite old by now.
Yeah,
he may have passed
Charles
away.
Jenkins is another one too, who was a POW. Yeah.
Why did North Korea accept American bastards if
Yeah.
they weren't going to just be propaganda machines?
Right. I mean, yeah, exactly that reason to use it as a propaganda machines and also use them, North Korean movies and things like that. Yeah, but clearly that did not work out for Travis King because it's like we don't want him. Take him back. Yeah.
Okay. Again, I'm so sorry if we can't get to all the questions, but I think we are getting coming close to
Yeah,
time,
we're
but
out of
also want to wrap up at least the diet content before we can get to the last few questions that we have. So,
Yeah.
so here's what I want to do, right? So a fist of 5, right? So put your fist in the air, right? Put your fist in the air. And 5 is going to be, I would highly recommend a North Korean diet for people to try. Okay. 1 is do not do this. This is a terrible idea. Okay. On the count of 3, we're going to do it together. Okay.
Okay.
All right. 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Wait, I meant
3. 4 and 5. Oh my God. That's way higher than I expected. All
I
right.
highly recommend
Explain yourselves, please.
Yeah. I would highly recommend it because it kind of like teaches you patience. Because like, I mean, especially in this day and age, right? Especially now, like you can just take out your phone and order food from like everywhere.
So there's an exercise of discipline.
Yeah,
Okay.
discipline, and giving yourself, basically, I would say it's form of like respecting yourself in a way, because like you are cooking for
wow.
yourself, right? And that means you respect yourself. Sorry, maybe that's a stretch. I'm sorry.
It's got a little philosophical there.
Sorry, that's a stretch, but I highly recommend it, because it's some sort of like a discipline, and you will, like, if you cut out all the sugars and I drank coffee, just so you know. I can't do without coffee.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry, but-
which is like not
Um,
completely unavailable. So the elites would have access.
I
to
mean,
it,
there is
yeah.
a coffee shop in North Korea
There
as
we go,
well.
yeah.
So I would say it's very refreshing. Like you would notice the health, like I had much more stamina, and I was more high energy.
Wow.
Yeah, I really liked it. Whereas like I remember having like cheese and pasta and sugary food, like it made me really drowsy. And like right after, that's why I call it food coma, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
See. All right, and Jessica. And what
Uh,
your answer was 3, 4?
4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, one of the same reasons, we share some of the same reasons, is that I really also saw some improvement in my, I don't know, cognition, I guess. I was able to think more clearly. I felt more alert, felt more like I could go to sleep well, wake up well, which I guess you wouldn't have thought that sugar and like dairy and lots of salt and lots of processed foods, you might not think that it would contribute that much to it, but it did. I felt healthier. And then another reason that I recommend it and that I really liked about it is it tested my, what's the word?
sugar level, blood.
No, I didn't test that. It felt great though. It's kind of like patience.
Yeah,
What am I thinking?
totally.
No.
Yeah.
Tested self-control.
Self-control,
Tested my
okay.
self-control.
There we go.
And I was actually a little bit proud of myself at
Yeah.
how
Right.
I think I only caved one time. And throughout the rest of the diet, the only time we had cheat days was because it was planned.
An
like
event,
that one
yeah.
Right.
the
No, it
event.
wasn't
had
like,
to happen.
ad hoc. You could
Yeah.
just,
But there was only one time in the whole time. And other
Right.
than that, it didn't. So,
yeah, and I really applaud both of you, because it's not like you guys were in isolation in a monastery somewhere. Like, you actually lived with people who were eating normally the whole time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then there's a third reason that I think you'll probably relate to as well, is that might be a slightly different perspective for you. Maybe it's more of remembering. For me, it's visibly seeing for the first time. I really loved seeing all of my family and friends who saw what I would eat that day. And I loved all of their reactions of them thinking, oh, that's not enough, and I want better for you. And I'd say, this is actually something I'd be lucky to have if I was a commoner
Right.
in North Korea. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the love you have for the people that you love,
Mhm.
think about how you can love North Korean people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Well said.
Yeah,
well
and then
said.
so I want to go to the kind of the final reflection. So of course the diet has ended, but I feel like it was such a journey for both of you, and there were a lot of learning points, a lot of
Yeah.
funny moments, a lot of
Yeah.
hungry moments, of course.
Yeah.
So what would you say? It's like, what is your final takeaway and reflection? And I'm gonna
Yeah.
start with Jessica here. Like, what is your final takeaway from having done the diet?
I, from the moment I met you and you shared your story, I knew what tragedies the North Korean people experienced, and that's their whole lives they experience these things.
Mhm.
But getting to experience the diet gave me just like 1% more information into what it's like. So yeah, I remember, and like I don't know if we'll actually end up showing any of the photos or videos we took.
Oh,
throughout
well,
the diet.
absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
it's coming.
Well, all right, great. A lot of the videos at the end of me recording what it is I'm eating and why I'm doing it. At the end, it would always be about how, you'll just see it. But TLDR is that there's we all have a lot of love for you, Charles, and
Mm.
you give a lot of love to the world, and
Oh,
so
thank
you really inspired us to do this. So thank you for giving this diet something that's meaningful for us and everyone.
Wow.
Thank you, Jess. And I stand behind all those statements. It's very true. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Charles, what were your final reflections?
Yeah, I feel much closer to, I guess, my roots. I realized that I was spoiled, and I was humbled, and I got to practice my self control, and it was very nice. Like I was like, "Eh, no, and I was like, should I? No, and I was like, especially with the beer, I'm like,
Oh yeah, the temptation.
but I was really proud of myself, and that's like one thing that I can actually give, right to. I guess it's like a method of me trying to share like stories of other North Korean people, right? This is what North
Mhm.
Korean people eat, and this is what my friends would eat as well. So, yeah, it was a great experience. I've you know became even closer to my roots, and yeah, I got to practice self control.
All right. Well, thank you.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, all right. That really surprises me. And of course, the documentation, I mean, you guys took videos and, different kind of, artifacts as you were
Yeah.
doing this journey. So that video is currently under construction. It will come together
Construction.
as a long form video for all the 100,000 plus viewers to
Yep.
hopefully enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's definitely coming. And I just want to close with, did you have a
Before we
remark?
close.
Yeah.
If anyone does want to try the diet, we can include all of the sort of approved ingredients that Charles shared with me, at least in the long form video.
Mhm.
And also the specific things will be in Patreon.
That's
yes,
right.
Yeah.
Patreon and long form video, I guess.
Yes.
All right, so
That's
yeah,
right.
definitely something to keep in mind if you're new to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. There's a lot of good content here, and really, like your subscription is support for
Fueling,
Charles's mission
yes,
of
this
telling
channel.
the story.
Yes.
I do want to close with a couple of questions. One is that, of course, you have, Charles, your story that you tell on podcast and on YouTube videos. But I also know that you're working on a book right now.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Yes.
from Lazy Lizzie, if you had a book, what would it be titled? What would it be called?
That's a great question, and it's still work in progress. And I've actually asked that question to my viewers on Patreon as well.
Ah.
So if you are a Patreon supporter of mine, you get to choose. You get to actually recommend me a title, and if I like it, I'll choose that title.
Awesome. Please join us Patreon.
Ooh, that's
Thank
cool.
you.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining, you guys.
Can I go as one last question? Because I
Oh.
think this is a good closing question.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
yes.
All right. So, and also, by the way, the further folks who have asked questions that we did not get to have a chance to address, a lot of those questions are actually answered if you listen to the Robert Duck King podcast and
That's right.
other videos that he
Videos.
has posted. So please do check them out. And if you feel like you want to just address them directly, we do have a Discord. And if you join Patreon, you're automatically put in as the elite status that gets to eat
That's right.
meat and interact with Charles. So,
That's right.
okay. So here's the last question for tonight. Again, from Robert. Is there any way to help the people living in North Korea? Because it truly seems there are too many hurdles. I want to kind of take a stab at this first, and I'll kind of let, and I'll ask Jess, and then I'll ask Charles last. I'll just say again, like, you guys are right here and helping the North Koreans right now because you are now gaining the awareness through Charles's story and just knowing, right, when there are opportunities for you to vote on certain issues, whether that be sanctions or AIDS or what have you. Now you're better informed and you can make a decision knowing the reality of North Korea, such that the North Korean people can eventually be freed. So I really think that, what you're doing right now is in a tremendous support in one of the many, many different ways. But Jess, what do you think?
I think Charles will expand the most on all of his knowledge on this, but especially related to even before we went on this diet, one of the things that we knew that the North Korean people needed is food. And so if there was a way to actually donate it such that the citizens were to actually be able to eat it, like you just spray all of their place with corn seeds, and it grows 1,000 corns, million, bajillion corns. Something like that. I don't know. But
Elon Musk, make the food rain on North Korea if you're listening. All right.
seeds rain. Seeds rain.
Seeds.
And a bunch of fish in the
That's
nearby
right.
water.
That's right.
There we go.
But I know that Charles has a lot of ideas, and
yeah,
I think you might even see some in the future. But
yeah, absolutely.
thanks for being here, and thanks for caring, because I think that's one of the first steps.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
on two
Yeah,
shows.
yeah. Thank you so much, Mike and Jess. That was a great response, and
Thank you.
I endorse that. I approve that message.
All right. Even approve.
And yeah, I just want to underscore what Mike has said is that you are here and you are supporting us and you're listening to North Korean defector stories, and like the reason why we started this robot ducking podcast, and even the name itself, robot ducking podcast, is try to understand North Korea, and trying to see, is there anything that we can help to change. And one of the things that we came to was trying to better inform people, so that people knows about what's happening in North Korea, and that will bring change into North Korea, right? So what you're doing is extremely helpful to us, and sharing our channel, our podcast, and sharing the story of North Korean people. I feel like that's the way to actually help North Korean people, as the way to as a listener, right? And sharing even my channel, or even like if you hear some other North Korean stories, like share it with your family, share it with your friends, and try to find nonprofit organizations, or support me to continue to do this kind of work. Yeah. Yeah, so I think together we make the history, right? And when the day comes, like which side of the history are you gonna be on,
Wow.
right?
Well, okay, Charles, I think that is our live stream. Again, Charles is on pretty much all the platforms that you can find him on, including wherever you get your podcasts for Robot Ducking Podcasts. He has a Patreon. So please do find him and support him more. And if you are already a supporter or subscriber, thank you for joining. And all the live stream viewers tonight, thank you so much for joining. I know that for some of you, it is late at night. So really appreciate you guys being here today. And we will see you another time with new and fresh and entertaining content to let you know more about the life in North Korea. So thank you today, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.